in a minute. Introduce myself if if you don't know who the heck I am. There we go. So who am I? Big event, had my software development career taken away from me by an injury from a car accident. That was about end 2015, beginning of 2016. I'm working on a talk about my whole life story. Every time I've had everything in my life taken away and how I've pivoted, because we're going through times of rapid change and people need tools so that they can pivot and adapt to all the big things that are happening. I'm an Ivy League speaker, have talked about leadership for Yale at their Cultural Autism Studies unit. I've been featured on all the big networks, ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox. Founded International Friend Connection with the first group, West Michigan Geeks, in 2014. That blew up to 50 groups all around the world, local and in person. And we did, during COVID, we did virtual meetings almost around the clock to provide support for people. That's how we earned recognition from President of the United States. I've earned recognition from President Biden. I was declared Point of Light by President George H.W.'s foundation. My buddy David Siegel, Meetup CEO, named me founding Meetup brand ambassador before they got sold there. And then Octopus Movement think tank in Amsterdam appointed me chief of global affairs. Look up more about the Octopus Movement, doing some great work, putting some real great nonlinear thinkers together. Nonlinear thinking is kind of out of the box thinking. They're looking for more out of the box thinkers to work on global issues. I mean, the people I meet in the Octopus Movement, like there's a dude, good buddy of mine, his brain can run circles around mine. And it's just so fascinating to talk to them. A lot of great people in there too. And, I've also created something called the Friend Magnet Framework. Look for those classes because those are leadership. Communications is one of the biggest leadership tools. You want to be a leader, you have to learn to communicate. You have to learn to communicate across cultures and even across neurotypes. And you can even, now we're looking at autistic people as having a distinct culture of their own. And so it's good to be able to communicate with those types of people. That's what I spoke about at Yale, how to bridge communication gaps. And the group at Yale, Cultural Autism Studies at Yale, run by Dr. Dawn Prince and Professor Zhao. Dr. Dawn Prince worked closely with Jane Goodall, amazing woman. Professor Joe is real great too. Let's move on. Yeah, some of the people who endorse me. Yeah, my buddy Bob Berg wrote the Go Giver series. He sold 1.2 million books. Go Giver translated into 32 languages. Great endorsement from him. That's when I went down to see him in Florida there. Yeah, I read his books, like, was it 2014, 2015? And best one I read was the Go Giver Influencer. That's the one you want to buy if you want to understand how to make your opinions matter to people. And it's all counterintuitive. I'll sum it up. I'll sum it up how you can have influence over any person. They need to know that they actually matter to you. They need to know that you actually respect them and care about them and have their best interests at heart. And then influence is built slowly over time as you build that like, know, and trust. And, you can't really rush proper influence. And the more influence you have over someone, the more they trust you, the more persuasive your ideas are. We go into a lot more of that stuff in the Friend Magnet Framework, so look that up. As my buddy David Siegel, David picked me to give a speech at the Meetup 20th anniversary party to represent all the hundreds of thousands of organizers around the world. So I flew to New York. That terrified me going to New York the first time, but my brother said, don't be 85, look back in your life and wonder what could have been. My mom had just died, so I was a wreck, but I went to New York. I quote unquote conquered New York, conquered my fear in New York City. Didn't get lost that many times, had a buddy rescue me, but was a great experience giving a speech on top of the skyscraper in New York. And President Joe Biden sent me a letter of appreciation for my volunteer service. Just extending his heartfelt appreciation for my volunteer leadership. So let's get into the